Hi everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes to demonstrate what you need to do to compose the works cited page for paper 4. The first thing you'll notice is that on our materials on the Canvas page, there's a text box here that says you have to use the information on the following document to compose works cited entries for paper 4. Okay. There's a reason for that. It isn't possible for you to get all of the information that you need to do the works cited page because I actually supplied you with the sources, with the short story and all 3 articles. You need to know where I got that information in order to do the works cited page. And what this information for P4 works cited document does is it gives you that information so you can do the works cited page. So I'm going to just very quickly go through and quickly demonstrate how you can use this information to put together a really good works cited page for your 4th paper. First, of course, you need to open it. And since you will be working back and forth between, hopefully, a document on which you are composing your works cited page, possibly the Purdue OWL, and this form, it's a good idea to download this form so that it's not just in a browser window. Okay. Now, as you go through, you'll see that there's information for the short story and for each of the 3 articles that I provided. And you can work with this information to do the works cited page. Okay, now we're going to use the Purdue OWL, of course, because I can actually use that on screen and you can see it. The first thing you have to do when you need to put together a works cited entry is you have to ask yourself, what kind of source is this? And that information is provided in this document. So for example, for the entry for the short story, it says that it was scanned from a print anthology and you are to cite it as if you read the actual book. Okay, so what that tells you, first of all, is that the source you're citing is a print book. No, you didn't actually have the print book, but pretend you did in order to do these works cited entries. Because using a citation for something that's downloaded from an instructor's website is very complicated, and it's not something you're likely going to need to do in future classes. But working with actual books and articles downloaded from the library, yeah, you will be doing that. And so that's why I want you to do this works cited page this way. It will give you practice for what you're going to be doing in the future, and that's what this course is all about, right? Okay, so we know that the short story is from a print anthology, and it says that's a book. So we go to the section that shows us how to do works cited entries for books. And you know from having studied this that there are a lot of different kinds of books. So what kind of book are we talking about here? Well, it's an anthology. Okay? Now, in case you're not familiar with the term, an anthology is a book that is a collection of writings from a bunch of different people, like a book of short stories, which is what this is. Okay, so now we have to go through and see if there's a special way to do works from an anthology. A work in an anthology, reference, or collection. Okay, so this is the section we're going to need to work with to do that works cited entry. Okay, now we see that the first thing we need is the last name and the first name of the author of, it says an essay, but in this case it's a short story. Well, you can get that from from the short story that you read, right? I mean, the author is Faulkner, William. That's not too difficult. And then you want the title of the essay or short story, enclosed in quotation marks, and you can get from the short story itself that the title of the story is Rose for Emily, right? Then you want the title of the collection, which is the title of the anthology or the book you took it from. Okay, now you can't get that from the short story. Let's see if I gave you that information. The title of the anthology is The Seagull Reader, stories, and then it says second edition, so you know you need that. Okay? So that's where you get the information that you're supposed to put here, for title of collection. Okay? And then the next thing you need is the name of the editor. Well, that's not on the copy of the short story either. Did I give you that information? Yes, it was edited by Joseph Kelly. So you use the name Joseph Kelly. And what you do, if we look at the examples, you actually have a comma, and then you have edited by Joseph Kelly. Okay. The next thing you need is the name of the publishing company. Well, you don't have that on this short story. Did I give you that information? Indeed, I did. I said it was published by W. Norton in 2008. So I gave you the publishing information. So that's what you need to put here. You would put W. Norton, 2008. The pages, yeah, you can get the page numbers off the copy of the short story you have, right? So that's all you have to do. Some of the information is on the actual short story or article, and what isn't there is going to be here. So you kind of have to work back and forth, but that's how you would do it. Okay, let's take a look at the at one of the articles. We'll take Dilworth because he's the next one. Okay, now it says it's a scholarly journal, and it says that it was downloaded from a database, okay? Well, we know that if something's downloaded from a database, it's not a book. It's an electronic source. So we go to the section of MLA on electronic sources. Now, if you remember from what we've studied earlier this semester, you know that a database is the same thing as a library subscription service, right? So we look to see what we're supposed to do for that. An article from an online database or other electronic subscription service. Okay, here's what we need. This is the format we want to copy. And the first thing we need is the name of the author. Well, we can get that from the copy of the article that you have in front of you. And his name is Thomas Dilworth, so you would have Dilworth, Thomas, right? And then the next thing you need is the title of the article, enclosed in quotation marks. Well, you can get that from the article itself too, right? So you take the article title from the copy of the article that you have, and you enclose it in quotation marks, and you capitalize all the important words, but you don't use all caps for anything, okay? Then you have a period and close quotation marks. Okay, the next thing you need is the name of the journal that it was originally published in. You don't have that on that copy of the article you have. Did I give you that information? Yes, indeed I did. I said it came from the journal titled Studies in Short Fiction. So you would put Studies in Short Fiction right after the title of the article, and you would italicize it. Then you have a comma, and now you need the volume and the issue number and the year. Well, you don't have that on the copy of the article. Did I give you that information? Yes, I did. It was the summer 1999 issue, which was volume 36, issue 4. So we know that we have to have VOL period 46, comma, NO period 4, comma. And then we can have summer, I can't remember the date, summer 1999. Okay. And the page numbers, yeah, you can get those off the copy of the article you have, right? And then you have a period. Okay, now this is the name of the database that I downloaded it from. You can't tell that from the copy of the Dilworth article. Did I give you that information? Yes, indeed I did. I downloaded it from the database Academic Search Premier. Okay, so you would put Academic Search Premier right here. Oops, no, right here. In italics, then a comma, and next you need the URL. That's not on the data, that's not on your article either. Did I give that to you? I certainly did. And all you have to do is copy and paste this into your works cited page because this is in Microsoft Word. And I said earlier in this that supplying the access dates is optional in MLA, and you don't need to do that for this paper. So you don't need this at all. Everything you need for these works cited entries are either on the copy of the short story or article itself, or it's on this page. I guarantee you it's all there. I promise you it's all there. And so, yeah, it takes a little work to work back and forth between 2 or 3 documents to do a works cited entry, but that's kind of how documentation works. It's nitpicky little crap. I agree with you. But I know that in the future, your profs are going to expect you to know how to have learned to do this in this class. And I don't want to see you run into problems in the future because I didn't teach you how to do this. I mean, I would feel terrible if that happened to you. So really, that's all you need to do. And yes, it takes a little work. But if you need any help, all you have to do is email me through Canvas, and I'll help you. You can send me copies of your works cited page or individual entries and ask me if they're right. I'll tell you what you need to do to fix it. You're not doing this alone, okay? I'm here for you, and I want to help you. And I hope this video helps to demonstrate what you need to do so that you can do a good job and do well on this paper, because really, that's all I want. If you have any questions or you need any help, don't forget all you ever have to do is email me through Canvas. Thank you so much for paying attention to this video and studying it, and thank you for working with this document so that you have a good works cited page for paper 4. That's all I really want, is I want you to do really, really well. Until we talk again, sure, you have to work hard, but try to relax and enjoy yourself a little, because that's really important too.